So even while living in this system, you have to continue to create ways that help you. And the system will weigh you down because pick yourself up by the bootstrap. Bitch, what? But the American way is racist. Racism, segregation,
Colorism.
colorism. And I'm asking myself, why is the organic stuff more than the bad stuff? And that's another thing about the American way. My freedom ain't your freedom. I think we're born here, so we're defaulted to that way, right?
Because it's almost like a scare tactic, you know, how we use it in America.
Hey, I hope you send a link every day, goddamn.
Hey, listen, man. Welcome back to another great episode of Two Paths Podcast. Well, you already know you got your main man, the postman, my main man, LD, my other main man, D-Rise. And we're going to bring y'all a great one today, but I want to do two things today. Before I go into the whole thing, the whole spiel about going over to YouTube to subscribe, I just want to take this time to recognize our 50 subscribers. We greatly appreciate you guys. Thanks for taking out the time to go over and subscribe. And I hope that you guys continue to help us build our platform and build our page by bringing on another 50 with y'all. For those who have not subscribed, get over to YouTube at Two Paths Podcast and hit that subscribe button. Now, today we're going to talk about the American way. What is the American way, and is the American way the correct way? And I'm gonna let my dog D-Ryan start because he got a lot of extreme knowledge on living in different places in his travels, so he can tell us more about what the American way is and what could be considered the right way. Go ahead, Coach.
Well, before I get into that, one part of the American way is like, for what you was saying, subscribe and all that there. I hope this will be one of the highlights because everybody that knows me, I'm talking directly to you. Why haven't you subscribed? Especially the ones who call me and need all of the advice and you haven't subscribed and you know this. I'm looking in the camera at you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just doing it the American way, you know, face to face. And and I got about and it's about 3,000 of y'all. So you know what I'm saying? We try. I'm just saying, just being real with you now. So stop playing. But
The American way.
yeah, it's the American way in different other countries is different. For instance, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Like you go up to Europe, right? On Sundays, right? On Sundays, right? Everything's shut down. It's just the bare minimum work, and they actually rest on Sunday. You can't get nothing done on Sunday, and that's their way of life, right? Um, the healthcare is universal. Everybody has healthcare, so when you go into their hospitals, bro, it's empty almost because they do all the preventive stuff so that you don't go. When you go to the hospital, it's a real emergency. Their hospitals are empty because they do the preventive, the stuff beforehand to keep you inside. A lot of people are walking. You got my town over there. You can leave your door open. You know what I'm saying? Like you try that in the States, like now it ain't possible. We're moving real fast in America, man, with no direction. And the and everything's all the fundamentals of raising somebody or how to earn a living is like a fad. The new thing coming, this, that, whatever, everybody jump on board real quick. And everybody, there's no structure in anything anymore versus where it used to be. So you go to these other countries, right? And you'll see that some of them are still living the same way that we used to live growing up. And to me, it's better. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not chasing all these things that we're chasing. They're going to work, or they got things established. They know how to grow their food, and they're not glutton to be overeating and all that other stuff. Kids are being kids. They're running in the streets, playing, doing all the things, and running around. All the little things that we used to do, they're still doing those things. You don't have excessive police enforcement on things, and it's not like everybody's out there running around doing things bad and running them up. You'll be amazed how your body feels when you come back like that. Reset. Like when I go out of the country and come back, I feel so good until I hit the soil, man. I mean, you come back, you be feeling good, and then once you start eating the food and all the other mess that goes, I won't say mess, but all the other things that go with it, you like, man, like, should I turn back around? And it's not hating on it, the America. It's just like it's what it is. Like the whole feeling of it. I don't know if it's cause you know in a different. It's more than being in a different place. It's just the whole culture, how everything is. And you imagine if a stranger walks in your community right now and start asking questions, man, he's set to get robbed or steered the wrong direction. And we go over in those countries, they be helpful. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what's going on politically and everything, they're helpful to get you where you need to get, and not trying, not so much trying to rob you all the time. And so it's like it's a different pace, and there's different things that's going on. And I guess we'll go in more in detail, but it's if you get a passport, you not, and everybody has this persona that when you go out the country, everything's easy for you, this, that, whatever. No, it's a different world, but it's like you still got to behave, you still got to do what you're supposed to do, and everything ain't gonna come so easy to you because you're American. Because what's happening politically is changing. That we don't have the same protections that we used to have, and it's gonna get even worse how things go. But and that's why they make it fearful. Like for instance, you're not gonna see a lot of stuff on the news in those other countries. It's not gonna get a chance to get to the news because it's almost like a scare tactic. You know how we use it in America. It's almost like a gossip and all this other stuff, and it's one sided. You don't get that in Europe. Police say something, police I say something. I highly suggest you do what they say, because if not, they're gonna get it out you up in the blood. They're finna hit you, boom, and you don't have nobody to go talk to, save you, talk about your side. None of that. They don't want to hear none of that.
Right,
Because
right.
the philosophy is that if you ain't doing nothing wrong, they ain't gonna mess with you. You do something wrong and they don't warn you
Okay,
or they come and
okay,
get you can best believe that's gonna happen. Bucket if you want to. We had soldiers over there
okay.
thinking you can talk, jump back, keep pull, this and that. Hit it right over the head. No questions asked. They know you ain't got yeah. They know you ain't got no weapon. Cause you mess around and pull out a weapon, you out of here.
Right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
So,
But it's hard. Go ahead.
go ahead, Coach. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I was saying with a weapon, it's hard to get a weapon in some of these countries, uh, and it's on for hunting purposes only. So like, if you got one other than that, when you go to jail, bro, you go to jail until they feel like you rehabilitated. It's a hell of a feeling, ain't it? So you just sitting there, survival of the fittest. Yeah, and this stuff is mandatory. Remember Brittany, the basketball female got caught with that marijuana. They weren't even trying to hear that, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Period. This is what the guidelines are, and this is what you're going to get. Everybody was talking about, oh, it's just different countries, different strokes. They had to give up somebody that wasn't possibly going to get out. America had to give up somebody very important. She wasn't as important as that other person that they gave up. You had to really give up something for them, because what's setting the tone in their country, if you're going to let one person do it, you're going to let the rest of them do it. So it had to be severe. Everything is, their punishment is consistent. It's just the way of life, bro.
So, Larry, talk to us. The American way. When you hear that slogan, what comes to mind?
Well, I just think we're born here, so we're defaulted to that way, right? So that American way, that's our normal, the way we live now, the way we goal set, right? And then the goalpost is moved, and then we got to recalibrate, right? You got hyper individualism, right? You got outward achievement, right? Look at me, look at me, look at me, right? So, and then you got we got greed, right, at the top of the list. The money here flows up, not down, right? The citizens fund the lifestyle of the rich and famous, right? So I think in the American way, and I'm not saying the American way is all bad, but I think the worst thing that we do is we eat its babies. We say go out there and succeed and be great. But then once you do that, you get to a certain level, you can actually die. You can actually be killed for being too great. If you get greater than great and you start entering into different levels and they don't like your style, they'll try to control you and manipulate you first, or try to buy you out. If you don't sell, now they'll slander your name in the media. If that don't work and you continue to ride through that because they don't taught you to be great, go out there and make it happen. Be an individual. Stand on your own, pull yourself up by your own bootstrap. And then now once you do all that and you get to that highest level, you can end up missing if you create something that interrupts a system that was already created. That's the American way. Everything needs to stream up and not down. Because if things stream down, regular citizens now will have power. And what they don't want is for us to have power. So they say, hey, we're going to teach you how to go consume. We're going to teach you how to go get the biggest house. We're going to teach you how to go get the biggest cars and the most expensive things. We got you now. Because if you have one hiccup, you're done. Now your credit is bad. It's going to be hard for you now to adjust or to get back to that level. So the American way, but the good things about the American way is that you have specific freedoms that's afforded to you, right? Now, when it comes to black and white, those freedoms are different, right? And that's another thing about the American way. My freedom ain't your freedom. Your freedom is here. My freedom is here. So we're talking about equality, right? So some people think when you get treated equal, that they're not equal because they've been used to living up here. So in the American way, we live in a divided system. The haves and the have-nots.
Okay.
But in the Eastern society, yes, they don't have it as many freedoms, but they live in a holistic community, meaning we are a part of the sum total and we are for the community. We're going to stand by one another and we're going to create a system to where everyone thrives. So ain't just people having the gap. I'm not saying that there isn't a gap, but the gap is closer, right? So the American way, it ain't all bad and it ain't all good, but it's not the only way. And that's what I wanted to get to. It's not the only way. And I always tell people you have to challenge the American way against other ways that other cultures live and see if your way stand the test of time. What do you think about the American way?
So this is the thing. When it's the only thing that when you, like you say, you born and raised it, it's the only, this sometimes for a lot of people, including myself, this is the only way we know.
It's the only way you
Because
know.
this is what has been provided or presented to us, right? I don't know how they live in other countries because I ain't left the soil. I haven't seen. I can see through TikTok and other platforms of the news or whatever how other countries live, but my experience ain't gonna be hands-on, right? So when you say the American way, for a lot of people, this is the only way. So when you say the American way isn't the only way, you're gonna have a lot of rebuttals come behind that because now they're looking for you to show them a different way. Well, that's the reason for this conversation right now. Is that you and Coach said when he first started talking, you can go travel abroad and see how other countries and other citizens live amongst each other, right? And if you notice it here as of lately, we have a lot of people that's getting dual citizenship, right? They're going to these other countries and they're living a month or so at a time because of the feeling that it's giving them, right? They're able to just let go, free themselves of a lot of worries and stress. Coach just said it just now. When he's in other countries, you know what I'm saying? The feeling that he gets just from being there. And once he comes back here, it's like, damn, do I need to turn around? Only because America is go, 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 go. It's go, 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 go. And you said it, Larry. The American way has taught people how to become the biggest consumers. I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna dangle this carrot in front of you, and I need you to do whatever the fuck you need to do to be able to purchase it. And once you get this carrot, right? The next carrot, you supposed to got two on, but I'm gonna take the next one and I'm gonna pull it back a little bit. So now you begin to work for the appearance, for the acceptance. And that's the thing about the American way. You try so hard to be accepted into society that you, along that way, you lose yourself.
Man, we've gotten greedy. We start glutting for things. We should be minimalist in a sense. We got all.
Okay.
Look in your closet. We got all these clothes, all these shoes. Now, if you go back and you see that, like I got a closet full of stuff over the years, right? That I haven't even wore out the stuff that I ever bought. And we keep it and we keep it and keep it as if we need something else. And you go in these other countries, right? Closets are minimum. And you see their dressing and their clothes are some, they're clean. They may not be some of them may be new or old, whatever, but they don't have a lot of stuff that they waste, in a sense, waste their money on, because you can only put on a pair of shorts or only put on a pair of, we're in the fashion like, oh man, you wore that yesterday. Oh shit. I was happened to watch TV yesterday. A dude got a pair of jeans. He said they 10-day jeans. And dude like, what you mean 10-day jeans? You can wear them 10 days. They're so high price material that they won't stink or whatever. You wear them 10 days. I didn't know that, right? Ever. But if you wore your pants 2 days in a row, somebody gonna clown you or say something about you, whatever. And you're gonna take what they say like and feel some type of way. And you shouldn't. In other countries, they don't care nothing about that.
Bruh, you can have a house, you can have a car, you can have a job, you could be married, you can have your kids, you can have your health, you can have a good spiritual base, and somebody gonna still find something to say about what you got. Oh, their car ain't good enough. Their house ain't big enough. The wife, his wife, she ain't all that. She thinks she all that. What?
These things in other countries are not. It's not going on like that. People mind their business.
So the one thing I do give America credit for, which is the American way, is like I said, you have certain freedoms to express, right? You have certain freedoms to be an individual and to express yourself to the fullest, right? But then now it gets tricky because what you can express being my color and then what they can express being their color is always, just like somebody said, is we live in two different Americas. So of course, my American way is going to be always different from another race's American way. Their way is different from my way because of where I'm at and what I see from my perspective, what I've been through, what I've touched, right? And I always say, but the Eastern way, I haven't touched it, but I've read and studied it, right? When it comes to them slowing down. And the American way is go, get, hustle. The Eastern way is slow down. Like Ball said, Sundays, everything shut down. Even in the school systems, when you're teaching the kids in the Eastern way, they don't slack when it comes to exercise. And also they don't slack when it comes to food. And also they allow the kids to prepare the food. That's the process. They're teaching these kids how to live life at an early age versus just go to class and sit down and listen. They're actually being made to participate. They're being called out to now do versus just listen. I feel sorry for the kids that are in school because when I was in school, we had shop class. We could choose as an elective. You had economics, and then you had the cooking class where you could actually go in there and you can actually do something. But most of these kids now, they don't even have a nice playground at their school. They have old cookie cutter playground. They can't. Back in the day, we had nap time. When I was in grade school, for I think it was like probably 15 minutes, 20 minutes, teacher cut the light off and you rest. Now it's go, fast. We're gonna give you this information. Hope you regurgitate it. Good luck. Get your ass out of here. Go to the next class. And then we're gonna go to the next day. And then you come back. The kids are hating school because I've never heard my kid come home and say, man, Dad, we did this in class today. We did this in class today. Man, Miss Such and Such was great. She taught me this. The American way is like fast, but we want to get paid the most money for the least amount of service.
So even with that, right? And you said something, Larry. You know what I'm saying? The American way, it's definitely a division there because the American way to us is not going to be the same American way to other people. You got some people that's craving and risking their lives to get to America, while you got people that's been right here in America feeling like it got to be a better place. This can't be the end all.
Hey, Kim, I tell him, I said, don't believe the hype. I said, you good where you at? I said, don't believe the hype. I said, what they saying on TV and all this other stuff ain't true.
And that's exactly what it is. It's the hype. Because they pour so much time, money, and attention into building this narrative, right? And now, even for us, once you're able to really slow down and make comparisons, and that's why I had you speak first, ball, because you know from a personal standpoint how to you can make these comparisons. What it's like over in these other countries compared to America. Yeah, there is some great things about America, but even the things that we think is great about America, they're even greater in other locations.
No, it's better if you can make your money in America and live somewhere else.
Okay, why you say that?
Okay. Pick a country.
Colombia.
Mexico. In Mexico, I probably can rent. I probably can rent. Let's say for my family right now, it's a three bedroom, right? A 3 bedroom. I'm living real G like. I'm really real lavish like. $1,000 a month. I'm talking about with a cook and everything laid out. Grass, manicure, anything in the house that need to be done. Have somebody to do it. I'm talking about water bill, light bill, everything paid. I say about 1,200. You try to do that in America.
Nah.
I ain't talking about no 1,000 square foot place either.
So the exit and retirement strategies are starting to change now. Because people now, even though this has been going on, people now are starting to say, you know what? Okay, America is good the way because it's creating innovators, hard workers, overachievers, self-start, and creative thinkers, right? But the result of that is burnout, isolation.
That's right.
The endless treadmill of trying to hit the goalposts.
And they keep moving it.
The comparison, loneliness, individualism, greed. So those are some of the things that you risk over time, right?
$100, right? Why is $100 now a little bit of money?
A little bit of money.
Why is that?
And they say it's inflation.
You take that same $100 somewhere else, and it goes a long way.
The long way.
Right. So you take a let's say NBA player who made $1 million let's say 30 years ago. $1 million is $1 million. If I had $1 million in my account right now, I feel like $1 million. However, that $1 million 30 years ago is really worth about $30 million now. They was living real good with that $1 million 30 years ago. I'm talking about real good, grand. One of the possibility of losing that. Now, $1 million, right, is one or two decisions out of here.
So what do you think? What do you think created that those dynamics and that change to a point where 30, 40 years ago, $100 was a lot of money in certain families, right? In certain places, $100 was able to take you a long way.
$20 take you the whole week.
$20 will take you a whole week. $20 won't take you 20 minutes a day. And so, and that's what Larry was just saying about the American way, right? Is that we're gonna create this narrative that we're like this is the best place in the world to be, right? But it's the burnout and the consistency of working towards having when it costs you so much to live. So you pretty much is gonna have to always be on that constant treadmill of working. I met an old black dude who retired, but he had to go back to work. I said, "What you back at work for?" He said, "Healthcare. I need insurance. It costs too much." So I got to come. I don't retire just for insurance purposes because of the rise in healthcare. It costs.
Check it out. I don't want to go political on this, but it fits the narrative. When you got to make a decision, right? Let's say middle class, either to pay your house payment or your insurance coverage, there's a problem. When your insurance coverage is just as high as your house payment, there's a problem. These are people that wants to pay for their insurance, their health care, and they can't afford it. People saying, "Oh man, what you mean you can't afford this Medicaid?" Medicaid is for low income people who cannot possibly pay for it. It's a government assistance, bare minimum, the generic stuff. They're in there, out there. You're not getting the best care. Remember, I told you when you go to Europe, right? Healthcare system works so good. They're doing so much preventive stuff. When they work, it's paid into tax. The tax part of it paid for their health insurance. Their profession, right? Let's say if you're a bartender. A bartender has health benefits, 401k, just like a person like the CEO. They go to school, they're certified, and so they're not working off tips. They're working off a wage. So whenever you don't give them a tip, it's almost like they feel offended because you're saying that they're work, because they're real professionals. So they're not just waiters. You know what I'm saying? They're real professionals. It makes sense. But everything that they do, they went to school. Majority of the things that they do in school for, and they're professionals at doing it, and they pay into their insurance, right? Therefore, when they go to doctors, they gonna get the best care. Nobody's got the doctor, right, held hostage because they pay more. You understand where I'm coming from? So you're giving everybody great care. Over here in America, it's flip flop. Majority of the good doctors are paid off. Like Chris, Michael Jackson had his own doctors. Call him up on the phone, come to the crib. We can't do that. There's levels to this. We can't do that. The more money you got, the more access you got to the better stuff.
And that's the rat race, and that's the game.
Right.
Look, I'm at the grocery store and I'm asking myself, why is the organic stuff more than the bad stuff? This stuff got less ingredients in it, and it should cost less to make. The bad shit got about 100 ingredients in it. It should cost more to make, but it's cheaper. Well, America says, okay, we're gonna have outsiders come in, like Elon Musk, like the internet guy, who created the computer. What's his name?
Gates.
We're gonna have him come in too, and we're gonna let these motherfuckers with their money run rampant and do what they want to do. That motherfucker gonna go control COVID, and he gonna go pay for research to do other shit. The fuck, and then you let Elon, because he got a lot of money, run wild like a bad kid in the White House, and all the communities where people was working that held permits to his motherfucking shit, to now putting them out of work so he can get all his shit passed. And then they go back and revisit and say, you know what? We do need them. This is what we're dealing with. And like you said, you don't mean to get political, but it's all political. Because in the political realm, they control how the system, they keep the system in place.
Yes, sir.
No one is bigger than the system but them. And they like it like that because they know if they keep us working, if they can keep us working, because they don't give a fuck about you. You can work all your life. You work. That's it. They don't even say thank you. You a sucker to them. You think they care about the military? Fuck no, they don't care about the military, because none of their families enlisted in the military, none of their kids enlisted in the military. The same motherfuckers who serve McDonald's and buy these motherfucking places, they don't eat there. Their kids don't eat there. Even when it comes to challenge credit financing, when it comes to buyer payer, all these conglomerate companies buying up these places and saying we can make a profit, right? They don't even believe in financing. They pay with cash. So this is the system that America has built, though. But then they get mad and say, hey, why you complaining? Pick yourself up by the bootstrap. Bitch, what? By the bootstrap? That's that fuck shit. I'm just expressing myself today.
Go ahead.
That's that fuck shit. That's the fuck shit that we put up with every day, because we still living in a divided America. So what you see and what you get away with and what you can get is different from what I see can get and get away with.
That's real.
So the premium is now I'm living life at a premium, at a cost, because I think it was Minneapolis, however it was, I think it was there, but they just did a redistrict the area for political reasons, right? So all I'm saying is that, man, from the time I was born to now, America has been a place that I've had to live in by default, right? But the American way is racist, racism, segregation,
colorism.
They say, well, I don't see color.
Bullshit.
Look.
Bullshit.
Even if you wasn't born into a family that was racist, that don't mean that the way isn't racism, right? So a lot of people ride that wave in the way.
It's their way of life.
That's why I'm like, look, I got white friends, just like they say to us, I got black friends, I got white friends. If you broke in America right now and you white, shame on you. Shame on you. Because this system was created with an umbilical cord to feed you. The black people was an afterthought. Anybody that wasn't white was an afterthought. For us now to break through and be born into this place from slavery and still fighting to win. Do you know how hard it is on a nervous system? Every day fighting the little shit that's been implanted in your brain that you had to overcome, that you didn't create. Every day. It's in your goddamn mainframe and you can't escape it. It's there. You see it all the time. I seen a kid the other day, was in handcuffs, got slammed by a cop, started punching him. He was black. If he was white, it wouldn't have happened like that. So we got a lot of visions of that shit in our mind. So when I talk about the American way, I'm saying the way we do things here and the way they do things in the Eastern is easier on your nervous system, on your mind, on your body, and as a whole community is better moving into your latter years for you to survive in peace and in harmony and in love with the environment. Here, the environment is treacherous. Every man for himself. If my family don't know your family, fuck you.
Hey, Cam, I remember talking to a guy of color, of a different color. Like, I'm gonna express it like that. Cat told me, he said, man, hit my son in a cop car. I called the sheriff and tell him get my son out that car. He said, I said, what he did? He said, that's what he did. Got him out of there. I was like, wow. I'm listening to the story. I'm like, man, if I made a call like that, they would have kept it moving. How in the hell you can just do that? You know what I'm saying? The system, here's the thing, like Larry said, the system is designed for them. You can say what you want, all this the Constitution and all this other stuff they want to say, and what they say what they say about the Bible. If you confess it, talking about, well, I'm pray to God. Know what they'll tell you in your face, man? You go pray to your God. Because they really don't believe in it. They know that they put that on us to have hope and believe. They in their self and their forefathers and all that, they believe that they're God. And how they see fit, how it's gonna go.
Even in the manifest destiny, right? Yeah. That's what they believe, that they're so and it's not to talk about race and color, it's to talk about the way that we live in. The way. And the way and when you compare these ways, right? Our way is go to the doctor, feed them trash. Even now in school, they don't even teach the importance of eating healthy. They don't even have time to teach kids about drugs, the possible pitfalls. They don't have classes about peer pressure anymore. Now everything is so sped up to where everybody wants to get paid, but everybody's doing little work. And I said that to say that we're removing the love out the way. And the Eastern communities are practicing, they're optimized for different outcomes like collective harmony, right? Community, and that they are a part of the whole, and they value their time and also aim for quality living.
Yeah.
Hey, they're walking kids in school. I've seen it in school, right? When the little one, like kindergarten, first grade, second grade, they're walking in the nature, bro. In class, they're walking out there and experiencing it, and they're getting taught real stuff outside of class. They don't have to have all this paperwork to do all this other stuff. That the way of life, how they teach and how they, how they're all the surroundings and everything that they do. Here in America, everything it's because of whatever happened to such and such kid or whatever happened to such and such whoever, and things get changed because of them. You look at the government, right? If you, for instance, like you look at some of the major cities that they say Atlanta, right? Atlanta functions differently because you got it's different people running it, and it's their way of life, and so that's why when we go to Atlanta, right? You feel a certain way. You feel like it. I belong. I belong. I can live here, right? And when you see the cop, or when you see a businessman, or when you see a lawyer or whatever,
he look like you,
right? And you don't have, in a sense, the fear and everything is knocked down. But when you come back here to the crib, right? You don't feel the same thing, and it's a reason, right? Think about the things that we need as our culture, the things that we need to function in life, right? The people who running it are providing that. right? You can say it's race. No, it's like what we know is how to take care of our kind. In the midst of that, right, it's other races and that, and they're gonna have to fit. They're gonna fit them in with different programs, right? So now, if you look, let's say right here in Okeechobee, the different programs are for who? Hispanic. Hispanic is the largest minority race right now. We're down there like the Asians and everything else. That ain't nothing gonna get changed because of you. It's the it's the minute minority. Hispanics, right? You go to the high school. Hispanics got have the thing set up for them to succeed. Look at the high school graduation rate. You'll see white and it's Hispanic and it's about 1 or 2% black.
I just seen it.
Hey, it's right there in front of you. So now that's what they're gonna tell you. Why are we tailoring everything around the minute minority when we got more people in the minority and the majority? Everything is gonna flow through them. Here, you're not gonna see. Why have a black commissioner? Why have anybody that statue in there? Because what they're gonna represent, in a sense, they're not looking at them as that they can do the same thing. They're looking at them like the citizens don't, and they'll, like Larry said, they will kill you in a sense, ain't your name because you're a threat to their way of life, the way they run things. But if you go to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, it's different. You got us it's a mixture, right? And so and they got people who are gonna stand up because that's their way of life as well, and you're not gonna embark on that. So now it has to be a little bit fair. But in these little smaller towns, man, it's gonna be ran that way, and best believe you try to embark on that, you're gonna get met with a lot of stuff.
And that's why everybody's way, and that's why with the way that we're experiencing right now in America, you have to learn how to adopt new ways to now live your way while living in America, right? Because if you don't, nobody cares. It's your life, and at the end of the day, people can say what they want to on the outside, but it's your life, and you're gonna be dead soon. So the way you decide to live, if you decide to stay with that course, yeah, you're gonna end up like a lot of people that I see at the goddamn grocery store on oxygen tanks, just eating anything, saying anything, living with hate, spewing it out, don't even have the capacity to say hello to a kid. They're in their own little world.
Don't care.
But the only reason why they're in their own little world is because they fucked up and they tired. All races are tired that live in America right now. All races. Ain't one race that's saying, we got it made. Unless you at the top. But other than that, you can be touched and things can happen to your family. And I live out here and it's mostly white. And I see problem after problem after problem after problem. But what they do is conceal it. Conceal it, they hide it. It's shameful to them. So they don't want to expose, they don't want to be exposed as the white family that's struggling in America in a system that was created for me. How can I be struggling, right? So I can't let my brothers on the left or right know that I'm struggling in this system that was created for me, that I was given a head start, and that all these commandments, they was all with me in mind. All these commandments, they was written for me. When black people had to fight to even be free, I was cool. My family was chilling, making all kind of money. And then now, when these black people now got a chance to come to our school, guess what we did? We treated them like shit. We didn't give a fuck about them, their generations, and who was killed before them, and how they was treated. And then now, they're starting to have babies. Now we're gonna call them niggers. Then we're gonna take their babies and we're gonna feed them to the gators. And then we're gonna break these black men and we're gonna fuck them. Excuse my language. But when we talking about history, they say, well, don't let history, know your history and don't let history repeat itself. Well, I've taken a great deal to learn my history so that history don't repeat itself. And so that I could create a new way for me and my family based off of the way that they designed for us. Because back in the day, they treated us like we was less than a man and we had to do a lot of shit just to be equal. And that shit still hurts me to this day, and it still makes me angry. It makes me want to fuck somebody up. But now as I keep marching, I roll with that attitude though. I roll with that mentality every day. I'm like, this motherfucker ain't gonna be better than me. He can think that, but I'm gonna outperform his ass every day. Every day I'm gonna outperform his ass because I'm gonna let him know that I don't give a fuck about your system. Your system can't beat me and it can't break me because I stand for the people who was broken and beaten every fucking day. So my reality and my way is gonna be different, and I'm gonna bring a little more attitude and a little more veracity and a little more passion to my day versus what you bring to your day, because back in the day we couldn't lay down. We had to get the fuck up and work for free. They got up and their kids running around and shit, enjoying life. So they've never had the type of stress, they never had to live with the type of stress that we had to live with day in and day out. Not getting the public assistance that we need. Just like Ball had to fight just to get them to come to the goddamn neighborhood. Because remember, that's taxpayers' money, to use some of that money to clean the goddamn ditches and cut the goddamn grass that was on their property in the neighborhood, and to put some bathrooms and public assistance in the neighborhood for the kids. Regular shit that they supposed to have wasn't there. And they was okay with that. And what I'm saying is that you can't be okay with their way. You have to create your own way. So now when you look back, you can be okay with the ditch you dug, so that the water can flow through for your motherfucking family and for your bloodline. All right, I'm done, man. I'm back now. I'm back.
No, don't go nowhere.
Get excited. I'm back now.
I'm saying get excited.
Hey, it's what you just
Hey.
said, and even if you talking, you can hear the passion in what you saying. And it's not that I'm gonna take a shot at a race of people, but I'm gonna tell you where I stand at and where I'm coming from. And we talk about the American way. Who was this really truly developed for? It wasn't developed for you and I, not the American way. Black success in America was never supposed to happen.
Never supposed to happen.
Let's just start there. Because you had a whole lot of black innovators that we just found out about here in the last 30, 40 years that we didn't even know came up with a lot of this shit that's going on. But you know what? You got a creative mindset, so I can use you, but I can't let you know you're that smart. I can put you in position and give you a little more, but I can't let you know that I really need you. These are the things that has been going on for centuries, leading up to these points in these type of conversations. The way you just expressed yourself 50 years ago was not gonna happen. It'll happen in private. Hey man, I don't like how it says him, but the fear of being free was so real. And we talked about this before. It was so real to the point where your elders tell you, don't go up to messing with them folk. You never once questioned who them folk was that they was talking about. You know why? You already knew, because you knew you wasn't uptown. You knew who was uptown. So that lets you know, it's like you say, it's in your mainframe. You did not belong uptown. Just like right now, for black people and the success rate that they have generated and created, and the way it's been publicized, you can imagine how many other races are still on top of them. Because and I ain't gonna we gonna use Puffy for example. I have nothing against Diddy, right? Everything that they say he did, you couldn't prove it.
Mm-hmm.
What you proved him of doing, what you proved and found him guilty of doing, right? And the punishment that you gave him didn't matter, it didn't line up, right? But because he did it, was creating a system within their system to break their system. That's the part that they're not gonna tell us about.
Yeah, right.
That's the part that as long as he was cooperating with their system, he could have got away with anything in the world because he was doing what they allowed him to do. So that's my point. When you stop doing what motherfuckers allow you to do and you begin to do what you need to do and supposed to do for yourself, your family, your generations that's coming behind you, when you get to doing that, they got a problem with that. They'll create a problem with that. People create a narrative, and you got to understand what the powers that be, what you up against. So sometimes I get it why people leave in this motherfucker. I get it. Because it costs me way too much to live to still be looked down upon.
Physically, mentally, and spiritually. It's costing.
That's right.
Give you an example. As a senior leadership in the military, when you get ready to retire, they have this conversation like, when you go back to your hometown or whatever, make a difference. There's a lot of stuff was poured into you for community and all the stuff that we do. Now look at this now. We work for the United States of America for your safety, so that you can sleep and everything at night. That's what we protect and defend. The whole United States of America. Let me say that again. The whole entire United States of America, right? I'm gonna use me for example. So I come home, right? If I'm not the right American for this town, let me say that again. There's no way possible. I'm not speaking this with arrogance. I was in senior leadership. I wasn't like like an entry level person. There's some people that go in about 3 or 4 years and they get out, right? They don't have that type of experience, leadership, and everything else to run. I'm talking about 20. I'm talking about 20 plus years. You hear me? It's guys or people that did about 4 or 5 years that been commissioners, bro. When I say, if you understand how that system works, I run circles around a 4 or 5 year veteran. When I say really run circles, bro, they can't even compete. To hear, right? They say to hear somebody say that person is a better qualified person, you be like, are you fucking for real? My system supersedes your system. You're the minority in the government system. You're local, bro. I represent the whole United States of fucking America. The same funding that y'all gonna get, and you're gonna sit here and tell me. But you go to other places, right? And you see it on TV or how they support the veterans and this and that, whatever, and whatever. Maybe that's why the veterans are homeless because are y'all that afraid to put real leadership in place to get real stuff done? Because what we've been doing is real work. The people that you've been hiring don't hit on the ground and do real work.
But you're gonna fuck up the church. You're gonna fuck up the church's money if you get in there.
Right, yeah, because we're not gonna let you lie. Right. We got integrity, responsibility, accountability. So now you got to have meetings before I come, because you're gonna say that I'm not loyal, I'm not trustworthy. No, I'm not crooked, I'm not a fraud.
But you know what? I told Ball that, Larry. I
Yeah.
told him that. You fucking up the church's money.
That money, hey, they got that money flowing how they need to flow.
But
And
that's
if
how
they
their
let
system has been designed. You talking about the American way in the system. Their system has been put in place that whoever next up in these positions, I need them to be able to operate like I need them to in this system. If for any chance I see that you can come in and make a change or a difference, I got to boycott you. I can't let you in. Master say close the door.
And that's why it's very important for you to learn a skill or a trade that no matter what comes or what goes, you can take your work NT, and I'm NT. Well, it don't matter.
That's real. That's
Yeah,
real.
because hey, if you hold your thing in one bucket and just stay here and don't expand and don't go nowhere, you done.
Well, remember, so the system will try to control you, right? And the system will weigh you down because there's certain things that you have to perform under the system, right? Do you know how many families right now are struggling to even just make ends meet at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
So, but do you know what kind of assistance those families have? No. The government doesn't openly roll out programs. You got to go search for those programs that will assist you versus those programs being on the front line. We got your back. We understand because what is inflation? It's to make more money. That's what it is. It's to make more money, bro. So when you're talking about inflation, so you got shit going up and people still working these jobs. And they might be entry-level jobs. But does America give a fuck? No. We're gonna get this money at all costs. We're gonna align it to where all our people in the right places, the judges, in the judicial branch, legislative branch, and the other branch, whatever that branch is, executive branch. We're gonna make sure all that's lined up. We're gonna get the people at the table, and we're gonna make sure that the people who own the big companies eat, not the individual company, but we talking about the group of people, the collective who own the companies, right?
That's right.
We're gonna make sure that they taken care of.
That's right.
Because you know what they doing? They slide me that envelope.
There you go. There you go. Give you an example. In our neighborhood right now, bro, I have a lot beside the basketball court, right? And somebody else on the lot. I go try to buy. I bought a lot. I go there and say I want to build on that. No, they tell me I can't build on the lot too small, right? I go around. Everybody else in the lot too small. But I can. But now a contractor or an investor wants to buy my lot, right? I said, why you want to buy my lot? You can't build a house in the world. Let me go through there. I go through the county, this and that, whatever, whatever. And guess what? They are allowed to build a house on the fucking lot that I can't do it.
And
Ain't
permits.
nothing part of the land change, bruh.
And this is the separation and the divide. This is the separation and the divide
That's right,
that
Larry.
our counterparts don't understand.
That's right, Larry.
You haven't been in somebody's shoes and you don't know how it feels. But you can speak from your perspective, but your perspective is skewed because that's not your everyday. You're not sitting in that environment physically, mentally, or spiritually. So you can't speak and say, what are you talking about? You have the same rights that I have. No, the fuck you don't. Like Ball said, go up there and try to get a permit.
Okay.
Go up there and try to get a permit on your shit.
On my shit.
They're gonna deny your ass.
That's right.
And then they're gonna let the next man, and they're gonna force you to sell. And they're gonna let the next man, you gonna ride by your shit that you sold, and that motherfucker got a house sitting right there.
You see beside my dad's house? It's a lot right there, right?
Yeah.
Even on that, when they told me I cannot put a house there, right? You look behind it, right? The lot that's smaller than it got a house, a brand new house getting built. Like, you got to be kidding me.
That's
Got
right.
to be kidding.
So that's understanding the division in this system. And that's also understanding at the end of the day, our narrative ain't to paint the picture about the colorism and all that there. But what we do know, we still a nigga.
Yeah, we know the fuckery.
You cannot overlook that, and they're not gonna allow you to ever forget that. So, Larry, you said this about a year ago, and I still hold on to it. The best thing you can do is create your ecosystem within this system and allow your system to work for you while working within that system. And that is what's gonna put you in position. So when life throws you a curveball or the system comes with the fuck shit, you got your shit together.
All right.
And that's what's gonna allow you to stay grounded and stay focused, but don't never forget who you are and where you at in this system, because it's been called the American way for a reason.
Yeah. I create my own ecosystem too because they're gonna shut the door because I'm a threat.
You know that already.
They're gonna shut the door. They're gonna make sure that I don't be that the people don't hear what I got to say, the vision that I'm gonna collaborate to do, because it's gonna be against how they. And I'm not going against their way of life, but that's what they think. But this shit is wild. That's why I
But
create
look,
my own
look,
system.
It's
You
unfair.
thinking from a local situation. That's from a local standpoint. Look at now let's take that and look at the worldly standpoint of it. Come
So,
on, man.
but you asking us to stay positive, work hard, keep trying,
Yeah.
keep fighting, stay in the game.
Go
It's
in
gonna
this
get better for you
organization.
and your family.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Why you let that stuff get to you? Why is it bothering you, bro? I've been in this body for 48 years, bro, and you telling me that as long as I've been in this body, ain't nothing supposed to bother me. Eventually,
Yes.
it's gonna get to you.
Yes, sir.
And truth be told, that actually changes you
That's a part, yeah, definitely.
because you want to love, but you gotta always watch your back because there's some shit coming, some fuck shit coming. You want to let go and let loose. You want to rest, and I'm talking about a different rest, the racial rest. But you can't rest. You gotta hold your guard.
You make a mistake, you scar for life. They make a mistake, it's a scandal.
You have an outburst and you frustrated. Now you the angry black person labeled. You be like, so I don't have a reason. I don't have no reason.
They're just passionate about what they said. Yeah, they're just passionate about what they said.
Our sister breaks down and she's crying at the office.
Damn,
Now-
feeling stressed. She just
Yeah,
emotional.
she in her emotions. She's like,
Just emotional.
Say, we understand you're going through this, but we need you to go ahead and get back to work. Sarah, on the other hand, she break down. She crying. Hey, Sarah.
You gotta send her home, man. Like, she's bothered there with pay. You know what I'm saying? Take a couple days off, get yourself together, Heather.
And I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck who offended, because
Yeah, it's the
If
truth.
I can't
You see it.
express me, then something wrong with you.
Okay.
That's real. That's real.
You need to listen to this because this is real life. This is what
everyday
all
life.
three of us face, not just one day of the week,
Every day.
every day. We
Every
feel
day.
we feeling something every day. Even though we put a smile on our face, we read all the motivation, we are uplifting, and we seem like inviting people, and we just living life, and we got families, and we try to make sure they straight. Everybody, it looks straight on the outside, but on the inside, though,
We dealing with this shit.
I got that motherfucker fire, that urn lit up.
Yeah.
Ready. I can't rest. I know one time I'm gonna be done after this. Man, my daughter got off the bus. We was living in another neighborhood. My daughter got off the bus, came home, and said, "Dad, this boy hit me. White boy. I guess he bullied people." Man, I said, "What he look like?" She told me what it looked like. I said, "Come on, let's run down there." Ran down there to the bus stop. Seen the boy walking into his yard, stopped his ass, snatched his ass up. And I said, "Little bitch, you ever put your motherfucking hand on my daughter, I'm gonna bust your motherfucking ass." And then I grabbed him by his shirt and I knocked on his fucking door. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. And by that time, I'm pissed. His dad come to the door and I say, "Hey man, this your motherfucking child?" He said, "Yes, this is my child." "Why?" I said, if you teaching him to put his motherfucking hands on people, I'm putting my motherfucking hands on you. And I said, I live right down the street. I said, don't let this shit ever happen again. And I said, come on, honey, let's go. I said, what you don't want is that other side. Because I got another side on reserve, ready to go. I'm strapped. I'm ready. Hey, one thing I won't do is play by me or play by mine.
Okay.
This is just now.
Okay.
Man, look, dog, I guarantee you.
Just now.
Hey, look, Monica done seen it firsthand. Snatching the dude up, dragging him across the car, and busting his ass because he done said some fuck shit. What I would not allow to happen is people, I'm not saying that I respond to everything, but I would not respond to is you thinking you can cross the line and then be okay with it. Because I still carry a different temperature over here about what the fuck happened before. So if I want to keep my family free, I have to be the sacrifice. So I'm always ready and willing to make sure that my people or my family is straight. And that's why the fuck I work out every fucking day, because I want to be mentally sharp. I want to be physically sharp. I want to carry my shit just in case. I want to be ready. So when shit hit the fan, if I had to be the sacrifice to let them know that I stood for everything that was right and made sure they was free, I'll
Hey, yeah. Hey, because you the one brought them in this world, right? And it's your job to protect them. It ain't protect them. Oh, minus certain. They can do that, but they can get away with it, and you can't protect. No, the society has it so that you can somebody can hit your kid, and then you got to go reason and say, well, "Oh, my kid didn't do that." No, it is a bruise mark on my kid who got hit, who did not do anything that warrant that, and if I'm going to make sure on my end that particular thing right there from that particular kid don't ever happen again. And he knows clearly what is put out to him. Not that his father sugarcoated, his mother sugarcoated, or he told him a hot lie. He gonna get it fresh out the press. So I agree with what you did. Some people may say, "Oh, you shouldn't have did that," whatever. I guess a goddamn what you think. He got the goddamn message loud and motherfucking clear, and his daddy got the same goddamn message.
Same message.
Say what he wants. Y'all live right down the street. So whatever on your mind, you might as well get it off.
Hey, me and Monica walking the dogs. Some kids on the e-bike thinking it's fun and games. Then called my wife a nigga, right? Riding by, she calls me. We go down there, and there she go, stuck her head out the door. Yeah, hey, she called me, and she know how I am. I don't play. We go down there to the pavilion. I'm looking for them. Where they at? Where they at? I see a bunch of kids on the e-bike. Guess what was sitting out there? A cop car. Go to the cop car. I say, hey man, kids running around being destructive. Then call my wife a nigga. I need you to address them and let them know that that's not okay. So me and the cop walk over there to him, and he says, okay, now tell them what you told me. I look at him, I'm like, the fuck? So I said, hey, you know what? I said, well, I don't even need you, dog. I stepped to the kid that said it, right? And I'm looking at all of them. So I get aggressive with them, all in their face, right? Telling them to say it now, whatever. The cops say, you need to calm down, sir.
That's that system.
Now, by that time, my wife pulling up, and she says, what he need to calm down for? You were supposed to be the one correcting them, but you're not correcting them. But if that was a group of black kids, see what I'm saying? Now they're hoodlums.
Their white husband, right, would have got up in your face with that police officer and said that, don't appreciate you talking to me. You know what I'm saying? He would have gave you the business. And then you would have said something, hey, man, he would have told you being aggressive. I done seen this play out, bro.
So long story short, I said what I had to say, and then I got the hell on, right? And it was one more instance where another kid, they was running around, and they was like, you stupid whore, at night, right? Bruh, Monica came in, and now it don't happen all the time. We've been here 4 years, it only happened twice, right? But this instance, I ran out the house, where they at, grabbed a rock, big boulder rock, ran up to the kid. It was two of them. Ran up to him, snatched one of them, and said, hey, dog, you want this rock in your face? Right? Just scared the hell out of him, right? And then I had to talk to him, because that's not how you talk to adults, and that's not how you treat people. So sometimes, me being me, I have to do the extreme, because I want you to remember Mr. Davis. I want you to remember that before I say something to this lady right here, and I want people to see it, I want people to hear it, because I want you to know that, oh shit, I thought we was just playing around, and kids do that, but when it's a black and white thing, I don't tolerate none of that. None of that.
Or hate. But here's the thing though, on that same tip, right? They got to understand, right, where you coming from. They don't need to, but let's say if they did, right? If your daughter would have did the same thing, hit another kid, you would have took if they gave you time to explain what you would have said to your daughter, then they understand where you coming from. You would say, hey, you don't put your hands on nobody unless they put their hands on you.
Come on.
You respect other people, and they're gonna respect you. You know what I'm saying? So there's no reason for you to have no confidence. Now, if you say that to them, that's in you. I'm gonna tear your ass up when you get home. That's gonna happen. Believe that. If you want to sit here and watch it, I don't necessarily have to show you, but I have no problem. This is how I discipline my kid. Even if I don't, it's gonna be punishment. However, they're gonna know not to do that.
Well, because this is the way.
Right.
You got a group, remember back in the day, you got a group of white kids, right? Ruby Bridges wants to go to school. Segregation is ended. And she's like one of the first kids. And all these white kids are yelling demonstrative bad things to her. And all she wanted to do was just go to school, right? So that runs in the back of my mainframe a lot, because y'all treated us so bad. And now you want me to be just okay and forget about everything. I can forgive, but I can't forget.
When I went to school, and y'all probably, I don't know how it was till end or how it was when y'all went to school, but they used the N-word in school so much. It was like, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I used to have so many riots at the end of the year. And then they started handing out the 9-day suspension and the suspension for the first semester the next year, because at the end of the year, that's when people really would try to, you know what I'm saying, you know what, this is my last chance to get back at this Joe Blow who been calling me the N-word or doing this, whatever. It was a running thing with us, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what they'll do. They'll call you all that and hide behind the dean and the principal and everything, and nothing will happen to them. They'll call you the N-word and spit on you, all that type of stuff. And then when they got it, right, now it's going to hand out. Everybody else took their suspension because it was like, well worth it. You feel me? But when you come back and coach, right, and you got the same thing happening, and you got the dean sitting there, you have a kid. Yeah, you have a kid that go tell you to your face, ain't nothing gonna happen to you when I go out there. I'll be right back, and he'll be smiling in your face, bro. After he done called you the N-word, after he done called somebody N-word, after he done cussed and did everything you can manage, the only thing you can do is send him to the office, and they send that motherfucker right back to you with a smile on his face.
And that's why.
And guess where you sit? Hold on. And guess where you see him working at 2 years after they graduated high school? At the motherfucking police department. The fuck?
And this is called black fatigue. Over and over. And it's still going on to this day. Black fatigue. Black fatigue.
That's that system, y'all. That is that system. And that's the system that has been created. And that's what we hear. That's our whole topic of discussion. What are you going to do? And this ain't for us. This is for the listeners and the viewers. What are you going to do? Because what we just expressed don't just pertain to just us. We're not the only ones dealing with this shit. We're not the only ones tired. We're not the only ones that's going through this. The same experience that Larry having in Arizona, Coach having in Florida, I'm in Florida, they having it in Georgia, Idaho, all over fucking America. And the title that they have put on that system is called the American Way. So now, is the American way the right way? Is the American way the only way? Well, that's for them to decide. Whatever decision you come up with, whatever you're gonna do to put yourself in a better situation, whatever ecosystem you go create for you and your family, it's time to start doing the work. If you haven't started, now's a great time to get started on it because this system has been put in place for centuries and it ain't going nowhere no time soon. Get with it.
What's up? Hey,
Go ahead, Coach.
the last part thing, man. If I was a slave and I was running and I know some other ones that ran and I got caught, man, give me my whips. Don't be asking me talking about where the rest of them at. I ain't telling on nobody. I don't care if they live in a different county, different whatever. Give me my licks, man. Ain't no way I'm putting everybody, all my peoples in jail.
Keep running, boys.
I'm gonna keep, you know what I'm saying? Give
Keep
me my
running,
whips,
baby.
man. I just don't have it in my heart to if somebody else ain't had nothing to do with what I did, no, I ain't going after them and putting them through some mess like that. No, I can't do that. So
That's the
all.
name they created, though. You want extra food? Tell us where they went.
No.
So even while living in this system, you have to continue to create ways that help you. You have to continue to find and also seek out environments that you can submerge yourself into that's going to create harmony within you.
That's right.
A peace beyond understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And an unspeakable joy that you still can carry in spite of the system or the way, which is you creating a new way to live your life, which is your style.
Sustainability. Create a way for you to be able to maintain and sustain within this system that has been created for you. Because something has been created for you, you got a suit that's been created for you, that's been tailored for you. You ain't got to wear that motherfucker. It's up to you to wear it, though. However, I'm going to say this too now. This the big system. Allow your system to work for you within that system. That way, it's less recoil when they get to shooting at you. When they get to firing at you, you got to fire back, you can hold that thing steady. It ain't jumping out your hand because of the practice that you done put in and the preparation that you done made because I knew this day was coming.
Yeah, you say they shooting? Oh, okay, hold on.
I can fire back.
Bum, bum, bum. Hey, look up. Okay, you want some more? Yeah.
And that's what and I think it has a lot to do with a respect thing, dignity and respect. The disrespect has been so loud for so long that a lot of people don't know how to respect you. However, if you respect yourself and you carry yourself in a respectable manner, that gives a motherfucker no option but to respect you. Because the minute they disrespect you, you check that shit. And so everybody that's looking and watching say, I ain't gonna do what he just did, because he ain't the typical one. He's a little rude, a little obnoxious. He might spaz and snap. But the one word that they use for all that motherfucker crazy. Don't nobody want to fuck with a man that's crazy. And a lot of times, you have to, Larry, you say this a lot, you have to be crazy, or you have to be a little delusional, or whatever you need to be in order to get what you need to have in your life. Anything y'all want to add before we get out of here, man?
Get excited.
No, man, it's just like, I was thinking, man, why would you got white milk and then you put chocolate in it and it's called chocolate milk. It can't,
Man, go
We out, man. Hey, y'all tune in. Thanks for joining, man.